Welcome everybody. We'll start the stream in about one more minute. Just getting ready and getting my Bookmap up and running. So I had some weird issues with Bookmap today, so I just wanted it to load for a second here. I do see a possible move to the upside for Bitcoin. It's interesting. Possibly getting a short squeeze actually right now. So it's going to be fun. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome. Let's jump on into this and get it going. All right. Welcome everybody to the Bookmap live stream. Thank you for being here. We were live earlier today. We made some nice gains already this morning. Trading group, we hit a call. Yesterday we hit a call. It's been awesome. Honestly, I've been like 80 to 85% accurate for Bitcoin. It might be even more, but we just keep hitting Bitcoin constantly for the last, I'd say since my mom died in November. We've been on a crazy streak, but let's see what happens for Bitcoin right now. Let's break it down. Let's talk about Bookmap and see where the liquidity lies. So I'll tell you what, I like the 22-hour time frame. It's a great time frame that a lot of people don't use. I see a cup with a handle here. I see a low, a high, and a higher low. The stochastics have reset. To me, that's the beginning of a micro uptrend. Yes, we have a macro down. You know, this was low. This is a high, low, higher high, lower low, lower high. We were expecting to put in a lower low, right? It's likely we come in and that would be a downtrend. Let's see if we can boom up here and crack this high on the 22. If the 22 Stokes get high and we curve up here, or if we bend halfway and it doesn't happen, then it's likely we roll over. But I'll give the 22 a chance. It's got a very aggressive curve on the stochastics. I wouldn't be surprised if this short squeeze happened very fast. Look, we came down, we went up fast, we went down fast. People don't forget that. So when we go up, it's going to go, brah, and we're going to squeeze the shorts really quickly. There's going to be no resistance here. A little bit right there at 45, 250, and then we're gone. I don't think people will be ready for the squeeze when it happens. I think it will happen pretty fast. And so it's something that I'm paying attention to. So with that being said, I just kind of want to give the backdrop. The bigger time frame there, that 22, Tuesday's a good day for expansion where we kind of get the movement of the week. We can kind of trade into that movement. They devastate people on Monday with the false move, and I just kind of watch what they do every day. We got the short squeeze like I always get on my live stream today, and yeah. See, this has just been happening to me recently more. Is like Bookmap. I don't know why. Like I'll have to ask Dan. I'll just have to save and exit more used to be able to let it run all day long, no problems, you know? And maybe there's nothing wrong. I'm just trying to, it could be me, but. And it was running fine there. It just wasn't keeping up with the screen, you see? I also really missed the liquidation indicator. I lost it like 3 months ago, and I've been unable to get it back. And I can't find out why. I don't know why. 43,230. It was my favorite part of Bookmap. I loved it. Bookmap 42,000 right here, 500, right? Big order down there. Something I would be like, okay, you know, they might bring us down there. And there's orders on either end. Bookmap doesn't always tell you a great story. And sometimes they can even spoof. Like, you have to know how to trade. Like, I always tell everyone, like, you don't just, you know. I will tell you, if most of the time I saw a big red bar up here and I longed into it, I would make money most of the time, right? So, you know, it does play out pretty well. But sometimes you get balanced liquidity, and what do you do then, right? You don't really have a, like this says, more liquidity to the downside, the probability is that we go lower. That's what it says. Are we going to do that for sure? No guarantees, but that's what it says. Again, does that mean I'm just going to open up and short immediately? No. And I'm a moving average guy. I'm all about this 200 SMA. When the 4-hour breaks above the 200 SMA, I open up a long with a stop loss below it. You know? Now, when you're about to pump, usually you'll play with it. When you're bouncing, you'll bounce off of it. But when you're getting close, look, the moving averages are getting so close. And I teach all my students this. And usually we're coming into it. And we're coming nicely into it. We're getting very, very tight. You see? And staying above this point of control is a very key idea. See the VRVP? And we came in. This was also interesting. We dumped. Usually, look, when we dump, we're going to go through this gap. See, this is the VRVP. We're going to go through this gap in the VRVP here when we dump. For somehow, we came and we hit this high volume node right there. And look, and we hit the exact notch we were supposed to. We bounced from it. And it's just interesting to me that we've already cleared this level of liquidity. We found what we could get. We took what we could get. We came back. So many people wish they could get Bitcoin lower. It's likely not going to happen. And the people that wish they were going to get lower, every time it dips, they keep buying in more. Every time I see Bitcoin, I just think about Michael Saylor buying more. And I tell myself that I'm going to have less than the big boys. And so every time I see it, I say, you know what? I should buy more Bitcoin. I should buy more Bitcoin. I should buy more Bitcoin. And that's what I do. I buy more and more Bitcoin each time, right? And that's it. So, yeah. Now, resistance. So amazing. If we get a break, and look how it's been resistance since January 12th. Look at that. We haven't been above this level since January 12th. A month since we've closed a 4-hour candle above 43,007, which is crazy. The second we break above that, how bullish is that going to be? It's going to be very bullish. Now, could we either? Now, this is why I said on my channel, Bitcoin's about to burst. That doesn't mean it's going to burst to the upside. Burst is burst. A bubble can burst, like a balloon can burst. It means one of these ways is going to break up or down. That's what it means, right? So we're getting very tight into BTC. Very, very tight. I would be surprised if by tonight we don't have a dump down or a dump out. Tomorrow morning, it's like, I feel like like we have to find a move here. Up, down, up, and then it just decided to coil in this range. And that's just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And here, when you put it in here, you can do it like this. Now, technically, it broke out. That's a breakout. You know, if we're true to the channel, you'd say it kind of faked out twice now. But that's a clean breakout. And I'm really a fan of the 4-hour being above the 200 SMA. Boom. And then we can make a flag somewhere up here. The 1-hour being above its 200 SMA. These are all really bullish signs. And today would come down, I believe, to the smaller time frames. So we're like watching this here for a breakout for this on the 7-minute. I also have Solana. I'm going to show you guys Solana on Bookmap. Now, there was an outage today. I didn't see it. Did it get fixed? Or I haven't had a chance to find out. But if you guys know, like, is Solana back up and running? Is it a big deal? Likely business as usual, but, you know, only time will tell. $7-minute pushing to the upside. So that looks very bullish to me. That looks very bullish. Can I still post while I'm there, right? Yeah. I think so. So I like how we're getting tight. Moving averages are far apart, but not too far apart. Stokes are pushing up aggressively. And we're near or above the 21-day moving average. It's a good sign that something is going to happen here pretty soon. And I mean, you got liquidity there, and that takes you what, to 43,780? And I'd love if these, and that's, you know, 44,170. So 43,780 is like, so yeah. And then our first little red, you know, 590, 600. So we do have liquidity up there. However, they do have this big bar of dark red here at 42.5. But we do see liquidity up here to the upside, which is pretty awesome. So faith of a move coming. Possibility of gains, right? And this is what we're looking for. And yeah, well, I entered the trade. I had a really good trading day. I'm like, I don't know if I want to take risk right now. Depends. But again, as I said today, you know, the trade, every trade that you don't take is a trade that you definitely lose. Like, you definitely, you know, you can't win. Like, you can't win trades that you never take, right? So I just remind myself of that, because hesitation, once I got like a good system and things work for me, then hesitation was usually just my main issue, right? And once I got hesitation out the way, man, like, it was like a dream come true in a way, right? I felt like limitless, like there was no stopping my ability to trade. Just because then I realized that I did have, you know, it's like you have a system, you think it's good, you only know if it's good if you test it out. And, you know, so many people think they have a system, but they trade 5 different ways for 2 years straight. They never really sat down and decided to trade one way and get it done, you know, and really committed to that way of trading and decided, yes, like, I actually did commit. This is it. I'm you know, that's what I always found, right? And finding one thing to do and be focused on for like 5 to 10 years straight is also, for me, very rewarding, because, you know, I used to be that person with so many ideas and thoughts, and you're all over the place, right? And it's, you know, now I'm here on my live, I do charting. Like, so I really like trading. It gave me my mind a place to be every day. And it's stimulating enough for me, because the market is always shifting. And I'm always having to I like to figure out something. I always want to have to figure it out. To me, almost every trade, when you wake up in the morning and you haven't seen the market for 10 hours, is kind of like a murder mystery. Or, you know, you're the detective. Now you need to figure out, like, what the probabilities are, or where, you know, like, where is the killer going to go next? It's kind of funny. Like, where is Bitcoin? Who are they going to take out next? You know, they're going to take out the longs or the shorts, and why? And what have you seen in the past? And what gives you, you know, some reasoning as to why the probability is more in one direction than the next. So right now we're just watching, you know, price action. It does get a little flatter between 12 to 3 o'clock. We should expect, you know, a liquidity move around 8 p.m. tonight when the Asian market opens at 8 a.m., right? That's 12 hours our time. And London close, which would be, I believe they're 5 hours ahead. So the London close, what was that, 12 o'clock already? And then the New York close, we used to get, sometimes there's a little action around 4 o'clock. I trade the stock market for years. They love pumping prices or dumping prices right at the end of the day. I can't tell you how many times I was in a trade going well all day. Trade was going well. I was up huge. And in the last like 10 minutes of the stock, that's when I lost like almost all my profits. Happened to me a bunch of different times. I started realizing you take what you can when you're up, right? It just, you got it. That's just facts of life, like, right? There's no, that's what you got to do. No one ever went broke taking profits, paying themselves. You got to pay yourself. Like, too many people live in fear or they live in greed. It's funny. Living in gratitude is the place to be. Wow, I can't believe I just got in and I didn't lose. I'm super happy. I'm going to take my money. You know? States of gratitude really push us to higher limits of progression. When we consistently have gratitude, we're able to take advantage. When we lose gratitude, that's when we get on our high horse, and that's when we actually can be sideswiped. In trading too. Trading as in life, so is trading. As in trading, so is life. They go hand in hand, these two things. You know, if you're having issues in life, you're going to have issues in trading. That's why I always tell people too, they're like, why am I not a good trader? I'm like, well, have you, not to be rude, but like, have you studied success? Because whenever you say that, there's an actual equation to being successful. You got to ask yourself, now, number one, there's love. You got to find out what you love. I really think love is part of success. You find out what you love, all right? Now, it doesn't mean you always do what you love to become successful. There may be times you have to not do what you love to get where you need to be. But the goal should be to eventually end up doing what you love. Doesn't mean you're always getting to do what you love, right? I worked a night shift for 6 years of my life. Did I want to work a night shift? There was a time where I did because I liked going to the beach during the day. And I saw everyone else getting hassled by their job, looking down their neck, by their boss, and my boss went home, and I got to work alone all day. I was alone. I got to work alone. No one bothered me. I mean, I got a list of tasks to do, and I had to get them done. And no one saw how, and they left me with a bunch of computers. When I first started, I used 2 or 3. Then I used 4 or 5. Next thing you know, I had like 5, 6, 7 computers going. Because you look at your list of things to do, you're like, I'm going to do this, that, and that. And then I'm all, just crazy how you can, and I was reading that book, The 4-Hour Work Week. And so I said, I'll work a night shift. And then people working during the day, they were getting in at 10 and leaving at 7, 8 at night. And I was coming in at 7, I'd still see them there. I was coming in at 7 and leaving it once I had it mapped out and I had a partner that was with what we were doing, I was getting in at 7:30, 8. I was coming in late and I was leaving early. I was coming in at 8 and leaving at like 1. I was working 5 hours a night, 25-hour weeks for 5 years of my life, I worked for 25 hours. Like, I barely gave, I didn't, it was a night shift. It wasn't easy, but I did it so I didn't have to give my time. I did not want to give my time back, right? So I'm looking at this trade, and it's looking pretty interesting. I'm thinking I may want to jump on in here. We do have the liquidity to the upside. We've been hugging 43.2. Bookmap is showing me that we have these two easy legs up. I am cautious. There's more liquidity to the downside in that red bar. It's the reddest area. But if we zoom in, I mean, they're both pretty substantial. And one we're right next to, one we'd have to gap a little bit. So it'd be easier to go up than go down, but you never know. Excuse me. I don't love the pattern. It could be almost considered somewhat of a descending triangle. This trend line gives it some hope. I take the length of the base of the triangle for my measured move. I slant my measured move the way price action was already moving. If we break down and we hit this bottom line and go sideways, likely a descending triangle breaking to the downside. Right now, there's a chance of it being either one. Reality has it in 2 different realities, right? It's like, right now, it's not in the descending triangle. Like, this reality doesn't exist right now. But it's a possible reality. 43,001, 43,210. Interesting. Stokes are low. Let's see my 15. Stokes are low too as well. I'm not loving it. Looking like it's gonna flag back to the 21 and go sideways first. Possibly come back down. Yeah, 1 hour's high too. Yep. Pull back to the 21-day moving average before any special big business coming, in my humble opinion. Here's the bigger, this is what we have at play though. And there's still a chance though it could explode. It's interesting. The ideal situation is it comes back down. We get, when it gets a little tighter, we get it one more time. No guarantees, but look, this could go the whole length of this bull. And while I'm just doing TA here, I guess for just fun. I mean, just a habit for me. But that takes you to 48,000, and like that's the big move that I see happening. It's just interesting. That's like, it's crazy how you'll take TA and then like it'll match up with something you've already done on a bigger time frame. So to me, this trade is the trade, right? I'd like it if we get lower. But the key is to use, one or two areas as the stop loss, like there. And even that's a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio. So this is like my next likely trade. I don't know if I'm going to enter it now because I believe I can get a better entry using smaller time frames. And that's what we're going to talk about next. We're going to look at like why. And we're going to look at some key levels and see where could we nuzzle on in there. But 41.9 to 48.3, I could risk, $400 for $1,600. I mean, to me, that's a smart come up on the portfolio. If every once in a while, whenever I see a 4-to-1, I go a little harder. I could even just risk the small amount, the regular, and still get $500 if it goes well. 200 for 800. I like this trade, and if it comes lower, what happens is we'll get it down here, and we'll bring this to an 8-to-1 if it can come and bounce off the trend line. It would almost be too good to be true. Trades like this, when there's someone that I'm not sure, what I'll do is I'll open up half right now and half later. I'll say, okay, I want to put $1,000, so I'll buy in right now, and then if we come to the bottom of the channel, I'm going to buy more. If we come out and retest, then I buy more too. But that way, I'm already in no matter what. This trade looks very interesting to me, and it could break down for sure. I know I'm not in love with the stochastics on the 1 minute, on the 1 hour. It's not really where I would enter a trade. I like the but. So now we're going to like zoom in and we're going to look at, okay. So remember the 1 hour. And look, the 1 hour likely has to come interact with this 21. Likely we come down. Even if we're on our way, we come down one more time or we make a little flag. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did have to go a little lower. You can see that's this pattern right here. Funny, my daughter's starting to call me Sammy. It's so weird. Sammy? Because she hears my wife. She's like, Sammy, Sam. And I'm like, what? Who's, like, it's so funny. Like, kids call you your real name. Sam Price. I'm like, what? Sam Price. Yeah, look at it breaking down. Shoulder, head, kind of shoulder. Right? So, like, I always have the possibilities of an idea. Doesn't mean it can't happen. We could still wick in, but it is starting to show some descending triangle vibes for me. And if it keeps that up, that's a bearish pattern. A very bearish pattern. And look how I switch. I can, a candle body on a 5 could change the difference between what to me, the better trader I get, the quicker I can switch. Like, the more years I have at trading, the more I can be like bullish or bearish in the same 5 seconds. Before I couldn't do that. Like, I'd have to remain only what I was. Like if I was bullish, I remained bullish. If I was bearish, I remained. I couldn't just flip. I didn't have that capacity. Wow, so you can't trade the 1 second on other coins, only on Bitcoin. That's interesting. I never saw. That looks like a nice short now. And see how we didn't enter the trade? See, sometimes, like, A good trade is when you just don't make a trade. Like I was about to enter a long, but something told me, nah, it doesn't fit all your parameters. There's something a little weak about it. I actually could, it's not funny. Should have taken the short. I could feel the short, right? I could not feel it. It wasn't feeling, but the charts conveyed to me that there was some short behavior going on. Now, again, we could just be making a flag, doing our thing like so. Only time will tell. We negate this for now, right? But we know the lane. It's good to know your measured move, though. Put it back right. There's the measured move takes you right there to about 48.38. And I'm always feeling it out. I'm like, and I can't explain it, but there's something about when you enter a trade, when you decide it's time to pull the trigger, you're just, there's like there is a feeling to it, even though you're not supposed to trade feelings. I mean, there's an instinct to it. Like, there's a moment where you decide that the probability is high enough for you to take the trade. You're like, you know what? I'll take it. I can take this trade. Makes sense to me. I'm going to pull the trigger, right? And you go for it. And there you are, right? So you just get better at like feeling out when that moment is over time. Now what I see, right? Shoulder, head, almost like shoulder. So you look at this. It's amazing how it's almost always there. So you have like shoulder, head, shoulder. It's like complex head and shoulder. Wants to break you down. Descending triangle wants to break you. These are bearish patterns. And this will happen. You'll get bearish patterns at bearish times. You get, and you'll get bearish patterns together at the same time. Like you'll get you'll get a head and shoulder pattern, and it'll happen to be inside. You'll get an inverted inside of a descending. You'll get a head and shoulder inside of a descending. You'll get an inverted inside of an ascending triangle. It'll be the other way around, and you'll get to move on out. All right. And it's interesting. See how it bounces there? You would expect to bounce. Even if you're bearish, you would expect to bounce there. Because the patterns have to fill to get you where you want to go. You don't get where you want without the patterns filling, right? So that's kind of the key. People don't realize, they think price can do whatever it wants, but it's almost like you can't go from your house down the street without moving your foot. If moving your foot is the system in which we live in, then price action can't go without moving its foot, meaning it can't go wherever it wants. The stream looks crispy. It can't go wherever it wants, though. You see what I mean? It has to follow the pragmatic rules of the universe, the math in which we live in. Excellent. I just want to make sure that stream is rocking. Looks great. Nothing like crispy 1080p, baby. I wanted to pop out the chat. I'm always reminding myself of the fiat currency graveyard and the money supply that just continues to get pumped. Sammy, cup and handy. My kids call me Davey. Yeah, you're funny. Livers don't stop working. We don't stop winning. Yeah. It's a shame only 90 people are here. That's fine, man. Don't worry. It's actually not a shame. It makes 100% sense. I was just listening to Dan Pena, right? And he said, 87% of the people in the world are unhappy. They say they're not getting what they deserve, right? But, the world doesn't give you what you deserve. You don't deserve anything. The world gives you what you earn. You earn everything. Everyone thinks there's such thing as luck, but there's no such thing as luck. If a YouTube channel makes it, it's because the person made that YouTube channel, not because it got lucky and it made it. Yes, there's instances where you get a bump, where there's a quick video here and there and certain things happen, but you create your own luck 100%. The second you think there's luck, you've lost, right? So the idea is majority of people don't want it bad enough. And if you're here right now, you want it so bad that you're not the majority of people. So it would make sense that this stream wouldn't have tons of people on it because it's like a very informational, very like focused type of, Look, there's your descending triangle to the downside. I'm going to take this away. It's assuming I think 50-50, and I really don't. That was the possible leg up if we make a flag. But that's a descending triangle now. And look, I avoided disaster by knowing my technical analysis. I was able to pick up that this was turning bearish, and it told me to stay away from adding to the trade. Setting Bookmap is very, very simple, everybody. All right? We talk about it all the time. Look, I got some DX fee that you would have to add, but say you wanted to add Bitcoin. Look, I can take it away. I'll delete it. Unsubscribe. Oh, no, right? And I got wow, they're pumping the NASDAQ right now. Short squeezing the NASDAQ. Is the DXY getting the drop? Always watching that DXY. And today the DXY came tumbling down. Double top M pattern. Look at that. Boom. And that's what we wanted. We did not want to see the DXY, This gave Bitcoin a leg up, right? But we should have gotten a little more of a leg up. It seems like the regular markets got more. They're manipulating Bitcoin a little more than the NASDAQ got what it should have got, but not Bitcoin for whatever reason. The road to glory is long and narrow. Yeah, I have to do what others won't in order to get what others won't. Yeah, amen. Yeah. Yep. And I know I don't mean to brag, but to me, I bring up the Escalade as a benchmark because once I afforded that car, it hit me as something as, I could never afford that car years ago in my life. Just never. I didn't. That wasn't a possibility for me. And so when I drive that car, it tells me what other possibilities are there. It's not about the material. It's nice, and it's a looker. You can tell people like, whoa, what is that, right? But the thing is, it's a benchmark to how hard you can push yourself, how far you can go, how bad do you want it, what are you willing to do. And it doesn't mean you take advantage of people, right? At all costs. But it's like, what are you willing to do in honor and in practice and in discipline and in focus? Those things will take you to such a level of just high priority. Like once you prioritize focus and discipline, once you prioritize God, focus, and discipline, the opportunities and the possibilities just become absolutely endless. Those three things really is all anyone needs. And everything else is formed around it. Because with God, there's lack of fear. With lack of fear, you're able to do what you need to do. All right. With God, there's discipline because you want to be, you want to show God that you appreciate the life you were given. You don't want to squander it. So you discipline yourself. Connections. So someone wants to, you don't want to add, possible descending triangle back in the trend line with stocks reset. Yeah, you didn't get lucky. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Everything is earned. Have to do everything in life is earned. That 200 is deadly. I've been using it, and the accuracy is spot on. It's amazing. But most people will never get themselves to do it. That's what I love about it. So the first thing you have to do is you have to go to connections and you have to configure. And you're going to have to select up a platform for a new connection. And you have to add and remove the platform. You have it added, it'll come here. And you'll have the connections here. Once the connections are here and you see them, these are ones that you can connect to. All right? Once you know you have connections, you'll come here and you'll actually put a blue check on the connections in which you've added if you want to use them. All right? Bookmap data is an aggregate of 3 exchanges in one to give you kind of as much information as you can get. I right-click here. I go to the platform, and I'm getting one of the connections that I made. Bookmap data. The Burke and the multi-book, right? Perpetual or spot, multi-book. And then I'm going to change this to Bitcoin, right? Bybit, futures, Bybit, Binance Futures, Bybit, and OKX. And I could change the tick size to $10 per $10, per $100, per $1. Right? You can make it real small if you want. per every $1, right? Look, and I can subscribe. And let it load. It's going to load some data. It's got to make some connection points. And now you're going to see it to the dollar, right? Like this is if you're trading like the tiny, you know, we really want to like get into the nitty gritty. And look, when you really look close, it's got more liquidity to the downside here, right? Definitely wants to eat that lower bar. But look, they started to strip it a little bit. Look, just now they took a little less away. Look, it was red and it became yellow. They took it away, right? See that? They just kind of were like, maybe we won't. Now they're attempting to build it back in. And then this is what we look at when we're looking at like on the bigger time frame. Just so you can see the real small time frame, you can see like what's happening right around us, you know? Looks like it wants to go right into that 120 order. Like very likely it's going to hit that 120 before it hits this 20. But there's no guarantees. So that's how you set up Bookmap, and you can set up other things. Solana if you wanted, right? Little short squeeze there for Solana back to 95. Or was it? Not that big of a move. Tiny move, 40-cent move. I follow Bitcoin. All the coins tend to track it. There'll be some exceptions to the rule, and some other coins will be outside the parameters. But for the most part, it's you know, Bitcoin takes care of it all. You just got to kind of hang out and do what Bitcoin wants you to do, right? So when I look at this idea, right, I always sorry, my sister just texted me. She's like, "Hey, Mondays, you know, both of our parents died on a Monday." Yeah, so I was like, "Yeah, I never thought about that." See how we're going into 120? See how we told you we were going to hit 120 and we did? Right? Pretty cool, right? Smaller time frames. You can scalp smaller time frames and just kind of, you know, if there's, you know, now once we eat that, now where do we go? I mean, there's some good stuff down here too. Now we go down to 43.20 now. But I use Bookmap usually like on a larger scale, right? I'm usually not into those smaller tick sizes, but it's cool. I don't mind. Because you can always zoom in or out anyway. So I usually do $10 tick size, not $1, right? I always enjoy your Bookmap streams. It's in the evening for me. Yeah, that's what I forget too, that people are from all around the world, right? A nice calm stream and then at night, oh, there's nothing better than that. You're sitting at your computer, the person's like just chilling. Oh, that's awesome. You know, I'd play music if I could, but I have epidemic sound. I don't know if I can use it here, so I gotta, you know. But I'd play like some like laid back jazz right now. I enjoy any stream you're at. Thank you. That's very nice of you. You people are just too nice. Your morning stream is at 4 p.m. Oh, that's kind of a nice time. 4 to 6 and watch the stream. So the DXY, I want to see it continue to the downside. I want to see it collapse back to this 200 SMA if it can. But it hit resistance, and this could be it on the bigger, see this bigger kind of symmetrical. I'd like to see this drop all the way back down, goes to sideways, and then gone. Also, we're looking for this to become the right shoulder. This is very crucial for Bitcoin. This right shoulder, bearish retest, and we can collapse, right? I think I watched 24/7. That's funny. There's a lot out there. I have a lot of content. You could probably watch it every day for I don't know how long. I wonder how long to watch every video I've ever made. It might take you like, it might take a year or something. I don't know. So you want to become a successful trader, but you're struggling. What do you want to? What do you need to do? You need to start demo trading. And I know people, but it's not real money, so I don't take into account. Video game's not your real life, but when you die in the game, you get pissed, right? You want to win the game, so treat it like a video game, all right? Just tell yourself it's a video game and tell yourself that you want to hit a high score. That's it. And it shouldn't change when you put real money in, because you should care so much about the percentages that you're going to achieve. And when you should fall in love with that, eventually your subconscious mind will fall in love with the percentages, and you will be able to use real money and not be as affected by it if you demo trade enough. Demo trading will help you, all right? You go here on MEXC, you can go in here spot, hit demo trading, right there on futures, boom. And you can make futures demo trades. So look, I'm looking for a reset. I'll be honest, like there's a chance this thing just rips. That 22-hour just looks amazing. Makes me want to open. I don't want to miss that huge pump to 48,000, you know. I take one real money trade per trading sessions and the rest of it practicing on the demo. I love it. That's interesting. And then you'll slowly switch it over. Tier years to watch 1,150 streams. Oh, yeah, because 10 days would be a day, right? But then all the other videos we've made, though. We've done, like, we've made more. Like, we also have content on it. Like, we have 3,000 videos or something. So, you know, resistance, you got to get back above. Resistance on the 1 hour. And that, yeah, the 1 hour says no go. Bearish retest of the trend line for the perfect short. Looks like a nice short's in order right now. Although, look, shoulder, head. Look, see that inverted head and shoulder? Boom. So I got mixed signals, but that's a bearish retest. Overbought. I'm just, you know. Also timing. When the market has less order flow, not the greatest time to short or long. You won't get as much follow through. Like, look, we got right? Now it is the falling wedge. Now we can negate. See, descending triangles turn into falling wedges once they hit their, you know, pretty close to their limits. And that's, look, that's support and resistance. That's it. I saw it. Previous support became resistance. Now that looks interesting. I'm going to go ahead and enter this 1 hour trade based on that 15-minute getting, you know, but I am, you know, regretfully or reluctantly going to put in a little less than I'd like in the whole trade. But still, like a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. Wait, where's my 200 SMA? So I guess it got taken away. It should never have been. You add a 200, go to MAs. Hit edit. Inputs, turn it into the 200 style and make it yellow. Need that 200. So above the 200 is good. Yeah, stop loss, just you want to make sure my stop's like below 200 SMAs on a few more than one time frame if possible. Yeah, all of them. And it doesn't mean we could lose it and easily dump. But once we lose it, it can also tell me, hey, maybe I want to slow down there. So 48,325, 41,888. I have 41,9. 300 for that, for 1,300. That ain't bad. 250 for $1,000. I mean, that's a beautiful trade. And we get above this level, I'm adding more. So if I see us get back above 43,763, or if I see us come here and I see a great divergence, those two levels I'm adding more. I like this. The 15-minute looks interesting to me on Bitcoin. And the previous, and then I'm just going to trade previous resistance becomes support. SR flip right there on the 15-minute with oversold Stokes. That's all. Just really simple. Like that's all I'm doing, you know. A lot of people just, they can't pull the trigger. Learned so much since, yeah, both courses are impeccable. Thank you. Sam, I've just opened my demo account. That's awesome. I'm really proud of you for doing that. Thank you. So yeah, so I opened along. This wick was, it looked like they kind of got liquidity right below the previous support of resistance. Then they brought it back up. I see oversold stochastic. And I just decided in the last couple hours, I basically saw a giant long. Like my Sammy cup and handy looks interesting to me. And I see the cup and handle like this. I change it because that's smaller time frame, but there's your cup and there's your handle. Length to that, length to that, and you're just going to blast. Remember, we went down another thing, let me teach you about Bitcoin in its nutshell. We pumped up really fast. There was a bunch of longs that long, so we came down and got them. We dumped down really fast. There was a bunch of shorts, so we came in and got them. You know, we went sideways here, and for the most part, this is still a downtrend, and we still have all these stops to clean up that were here. We didn't get them yet. And we made a move up, move down, quick move up. Already expressing an idea, right? Trade's already up. 2%. Look at that. That's a fast cup of coffee again. I always say that. It seems like second I open the trade, we're up $5 immediately. It happens all the time, right? It's all about getting good entries on smaller time frames. Using the 15-minute and the 7, and even getting tighter to the 1 has really made me, I believe, has given my positions elite entries. Like, and again, I don't win every trade. It's not about winning every trade. It's about being. It's about being in proper risk. You know. Wow, there's a lot of hot coins right now. Marlin's getting hot. Oh man, there's so much going on in the trading world right now. I got coins to post to Token Metrics too, guys, everyone. But so that's the trade I just made. I'd love to see if Bitcoin can come down to the bottom of the channel. Bookmap has us kind of locked tight with liquidity on either end. But when we zoom out a little bit, there is this big old bar right here. Just more space, more liquidity. But it could go either way today. I'm still, I'm trading probabilities. I may easily lose my trade. I love listening to you overall, and that can trade in the background. I'm doing my other work. Going to sign up with your Lifer tonight. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Cryptolifer.com. Jump on in. We make it simple and easy. You'll really appreciate it, and you'll be able to see the charts in a different way and take advantage of the market, you know, and you'll get the education you deserve. You deserve it. Like, you deserve to see the market. You deserve to get all the secrets in which I've uncovered in my years and years of doing this. Like, you know, while it's still here too, while it's still like while I'm around. No, and I hate to say it like that, but that's the facts. I'm a human being. No human being is destined to be around forever. So I gotta, you know, it is what it is. Nonstop education. My life is I'm in a constant state of education. So if you're around me, that's your life too. All right. I've been a lifer for 5 days, already paid for itself several times. I love hearing that. My wife and I listened every morning this last week. Oh, man, that's amazing. Every day with you guys. Thank you. Man, the lifers, you guys are like, see? I don't know if anyone has the more sincere, more honest, more amazing group of people than our community. And huge shout out to Bookmap for letting me jump on in and being awesome hosting here on Bookmap, right? I even put it all my work to make clients watch while they get a haircut. Yeah. I love you. Thank you. Barber Trader Joe, man, let them know. Hey, watch this guy. Hey. They're probably like, man, I don't want to hear about your trades, man. 5% up 5, 9, $10 already on the trade, right? Bitcoin. And that was that 15-minute. This 15-minute flag looks somewhat interesting to me. And I call these ascending cup and handles. And this would be how we start our way up, right? It's funny how it's like, see, I saw the 22. It's all about the cup and handle, right? Amazing. And I just don't understand how hours go by like this. Like, we just started 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I just don't get it. Minutes just slip away, man. Next thing you know, an hour of your day is gone. But yeah, I see a move for Bitcoin. Right now, I'm bullish. I could change it any moment. If I see a bend, if we get rejected, if we could come up here and make an M and show rejection. All right. Hi, Jennifer. Hope everything's going well with you and yours. Hope you're having a great day. It's really nice of you to come on in. Frankie Bravo Crypto Sam, before I joined the 99 trading group, I was not able to see anything in the charts. Now I see patterns, and it's great. We have a cup of coffee with you. Love the book maps, too. Giovanni Bellavita. I love that, man. Manja. Prego, prego. Look, this trade's going well. I did not expect that. Like, I was like kind of planning for later on. Already up 6%. Just plowing away. I expect to move back down here. I expect to be in the red. I expect to be doubled down. You know. Can't get enough of your knowledge, Sam. Member since March. Wow. You know I'm behind the wheel, but still in the charts. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Shout out to Jamal. We love you, man. How hot is it out there today? What's it like out there today? Cold here. Today's a cold day, man. 37 degrees, mostly cloudy, but it just feels really cold. So 43,150. Barring a crazy short squeeze, I see possibly sideways price action. If we bearish retest and fall, then I'll lose my trade. But I like the odds of winning this trade. And this is, to me, starting to look like a bull pennant and getting very tight. $64 degrees, that ain't bad. Now we're up 7%. And it took so much focus and discipline, everyone, to get. And I could still ruin it. We can all ruin it. Like, it's just like going to the gym. You stay in shape, you keep going. You go sit around for another month and a half, 2 months, right? You start to lose exactly what you built. Now up 8%, $15. Trade doing its thing. Amazing. Yep. Yeah, the DXY is dumping real hard. I mean, I feel like whenever it pumps, like they prop it up, and then it just like it's like an artificial move for the day just to make it look a certain way, and then they can't keep it that long, right? Like it's some temporary Band-Aid just to make certain, like maybe they're doing a build that day and they want some number to look right. I don't know what it is. I was confused as to why you took the trade 1 minute under the 200 pointing down, 7 minute under the 50 pointing down, and the 1 hour RSI at 80 pointing down. Because the 15-minute, man. Because the 15-minute showing signs of life. Look, I'm in the gains now. I was confused why you made gains. I don't understand. And you're above the 200 SMA on that 1 hour. Like, that's a very key sign, too. That would be entry there with stop loss below the 200 SMA. I mean, I'm very close to owning my first full Bitcoin through watching and learning how to trade here. You show some pretty important stuff. I'm so happy to hear that. Like, people are going to find financial freedom. You're going to have your first Bitcoin, man. And I had like some way of educating you into that idea or to help you. I mean, that's just mind-boggling to me. So, all right, everyone, I'm out for the day. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for being here and jumping on in. I want price to come down here, preferably, but it may not. It may not. I'm seeing tightness everywhere. Like, this almost resembles what we're seeing there. Look, that's a tight channel that's about to blast off. That's a symmetrical triangle, 50-50, right there on the 1 hour. So we're just seeing this. Everything's getting tight. A move has to come by tomorrow morning, by tomorrow night. Everyone, thank you so much. God bless Bookmap. God bless everybody here. And I'll see you next week for another amazing Bookmap session. I really appreciate this. And we'll see you next week. Tuesdays, 1 to 2, baby.